My name is Nate. I'm one of the co-organizers of Reboot, and I also run this company called Pedestrian Consulting, and I want to tell you the story of how Pedestrian Consulting got started and basically the origins of Reboot Workshop and why hopefully you're going to get some cool things to go on today. So this is me about a year ago. I was working for Apple, and I was giving a workshop called iPad in Business. But I didn't really know a thing about business. I'd never run my own business, and I had this idea. I want to go freelance, right? So I decided I'm going to leave. I'm going to be a consultant and maybe spend some days in my pajamas building websites because I have this background in that. And I certainly did that, but I also sort of missed being in groups. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start organizing meetups. You guys have all probably been to meetups various times, and it's great, but I wasn't really making any money on it, so I thought, okay, well, I'll do these free meetups, and then I'll host classes, and the classes will cost money because they're like a little bit harder to organize. And there's a lot of work and a lot of free time put in, but I finally sold my first ticket, and it was like really exciting. But then I kind of went back into shell mode because my computer got hacked. And when I was working for Apple, I had this whole team of people that supported me. But when I was working on my own, it was just me, right? So it's a little scary. But around the same time, I came to this space, New York City, which is a co-working space. There's tons of them. There's more opening up in New York City all the time. And with co-working, it's a bunch of independents coming together, sharing resources, kind of collaborating and talking about the issues that happen. And through New York City, I was able to host events like this one here today. So I found this network of people that I could rely on. A lot of the panelists you'll see are people that I met just from these experiences. I met Jim right about that time. And he was thinking about leaving his job and doing similar things about running events and giving classes. And so we said, why don't we have this kind of Reboot workshop where we bring together people that we know that are experts that can kind of talk about these different areas. And that was really the origin of it. And so as Jim mentioned, we did our first one last January, and it was great. It was people actually helping each other out. And that's one thing that I found on my own is that the secret to kind of doing these sorts of things is to have a really great network of people. My classes were doing great. I wrote my first article, and so I fell in with a whole new group of people in the Startup Bus. Startup Bus, if you've never heard of it, is a 3-day hackathon. The point is to build a business in 3 days on a bus on the way to South by Southwest. And South by Southwest is this big conference. So by the time we got there, I had organized 4 people. So I built this consulting and training business, ran events, then I built a business on a bus. And we got a lot of credit for it. So we got written up, we had 10,000 users, just in this 3-day hack that we put together. So it was a really interesting experience. But what's really weird about this whole experience for me, I've been at it for about a year and a half, and a lot of times I feel that this gave me more credibility, this t-shirt here. I'm standing in front of you saying, look at all this cool stuff I've done, but people sometimes still see me as that, or they sort of took me more seriously. So one recent example is that I just put together a Kickstarter to turn my class into a comic book. And it's up online. If you're curious, I'll have the info here at the end. And about a week ago, I was 33% funded and kind of worried because I have to pay my artist who did this great graphic of me. So it's a little bit scary sometimes. You're like on your own. How do you do this? Well, I just focused. I worked within my network. And last night, I'm very happy to say that we were fully funded for our Kickstarter, which made this presentation so much better. So I can actually point to this and say 100% funded, which is really great. So how did I do this? I mean, basically, I'm here to share my secret with you. It's everybody I know. And I'm putting in front of you a great group of people. They're all experts in various areas. You're going to hear most of them talk about it. They're going to introduce themselves. Take advantage of this, because this is the secret. If you haven't left yet, this is how you're going to make it, is having a good network of people that you can rely on. So between the Apple t-shirt, my tie, I think this is the best outfit if you're thinking about what it's like being an independent, because it's all about the gear and the resources you have about you. And the will to go forward. So again, I just want to say thank you to everyone who made this day possible. It's a lot of work, people volunteering and giving of their time and resources. And so those of you who are just coming for the first time and haven't met me or haven't met our presenters, take advantage of all this stuff. I'm going to be floating around. I'm not actually organizing a group. So there's a slide here to get in touch with me if you'd like to. Otherwise, just grab me. I'm going to take advantage of this time to meet with some presenters. So definitely have a good time, network, and it's up to you. Meet people, introduce yourself, and get a lot out of it. Thank you.